Hello there, research aficionados. It's me, Teacher Rocky, and welcome to my channel. For today, we will be discussing presentation of results and discussion of data findings, whereas we will also be tackling on some tips to do to come up with an aptly data interpretation, thus doing it in a comprehensive manner. And so, let's get started. Working out how to interpret and present your research material and data is probably the most creative aspect of research, but somehow it can also be the easiest way to compromise integrity. And so, as a researcher, you have to consider and bear in mind the simple things which may be helpful in the presentation of results and discussion of findings. Therefore, in this lesson, you are expected to gather and interpret data with intellectual honesty using suitable techniques. In the presentation of results, analyzed and summarized data can be presented as text or using tables, graphs, and other pictorial forms. Remember, presented data must be interpreted in a comprehensive manner. Some of the commonly used methods in presenting your data are as follows: textual method with the use of text and some figures, tabular method using table, and graphical method using graph. There are parts and guidelines that should be observed when answering every problem statement or objective of the study. Prefatory, meaning introduction. In this phase, you have to make a one-paragraph introduction of the problem. How's this? Simply by prefacing the presentation of results with a reminder of the research questions or hypothesis. The next thing that you have to do is to introduce table, chart, or figure. Again, you are asked to make a one-sentence introduction describing the content of such. Let's take a look at a given example. Try to analyze the presented data in this tabular method. Basically, it is about the respondent's final grade in Mathematics 4. As you look at the age range, it has an interval of 4. Also, as presented in this table, are the frequency counts and the percentages out of the 20 respondents. Now, can you give a single paragraph that can somehow explain briefly the presented table? Have a try. Alright, so here it is. The final grade in Mathematics 4 was included in this study as part of the respondent's profile. The data provide information on how the respondents perform in the said subject during their fourth year high school. It can be deduced from the table that most of the respondents, both in the experimental and control groups, had obtained a grade of 81 and above. A total of 85% of the respondents from each group receive a grade that ranges from 81 to 95. Moreover, only 3 or 15% of the respondents from each group achieve a grade that ranges from 76 to 80. In discussing critical data or results, do not state what is obvious in the table. Rather, only highlights or important parts of the data are textually presented. Next, extract only the significant findings, meaning you have to disregard some of the intervening words which might not be necessary in the interpretation. Lastly, descriptive equivalents should be seamlessly embedded in the discussion. Example given: very evident, highly extent, and the like. Let's have this example. Focus on the indicators, its weighted mean, and of course its verbal description. Let's see if we can figure out a good analysis on this. The table shows that indicator 1, which states that the leader is Democratic, has an average weighted mean of 4.50, which means very much evident, as rated by the respondents. With a given sample, what makes it incorrect? Simple. The interpretation is weak. It just presented what is obvious without even paraphrasing or giving the highlights of the data. How about this one? The table shows the democratic process is very much evident in the institution and practiced by the administrator based on the computed average weighted mean of 4.50. Alright, it is well presented and well written in a comprehensive manner. Simple yet clearly stated. Let's have more examples. You can shout your answers. This activity is entitled Which is Which. Choose between set A and set B. Which of the two interpretations do you think is more presentable and clearly stated? Read the text. Set A. As far as civil status is concerned, 44 or 77.19% are married, while 12 or 21.05% are single. Out of 57, only 1 or 1.75% is widowed. This indicates that a high proportion of the respondents are married. Set B. 44 or 77.19% are married, while 12 or 21.05% are single. Therefore, the table shows that most of the respondents are happily married. Answer? Set A. That's correct. How about with this given example? What do you think is the answer? It's set B, correct. How about in this one? Which is which? The correct answer is set A. Congratulations! You are now ready to venture the next phase of your research paper. Enjoy doing the interpretation, presentation, and discussion of your findings. Keep going!